Today I'm going to talk about why these clocks got returned and how you can avoid it. These are all luxury clocks. I'm going to go through 3 examples that got returned, and then I'm going to talk about what brands of clocks so far have never got returned. So first up, we have this Syroco wall clock. It is 22 inches in diameter, so it's quite large. It is completely made of plastic. There is no metal or glass. This makes it more forgivable in the shipping process. It runs on one battery, which means that if you have the right kind of battery, you could easily test it at home without knowing how clocks work. It has this cool glass front, which looks really neat to buyers. They like that. Syroco is also a business which is vintage and not currently running, so this clock holds its value. I bought it for $7, I sold it for $200 within the same month. It got returned within days. The buyer said it didn't work. It worked when I had it, so either it broke in shipping or they weren't using the correct battery. I asked them if they would like to talk about what battery they were using, and they said no and shipped it back. That's totally fair, and sometimes that happens when you're selling a luxury item. All right, that's a wall clock. Next up, we have a mantle piece. I've sold a lot of these. This is a Linden mantle clock. It was made in Germany. It has an 8-day Westminster chime, which means that you wind it up once and then it works for 8 days. It does come with the key. So as you can see, it's made of wood. It's got this little glass pane. The glass pane, as you can see, is falling off. That was included in the description. And then on the back, you have this little door which you can open up and see the inner workings of the clock. So this clock I bought for $5 and I sold it for $100, which was a great flip, except that it came straight back. So the buyer did not like the fact that the glass pane comes on and off. And also there seems to be some kind of timing differential between when the first chime goes and the second chime goes. So it just did not meet up to luxury expectations and it got shipped back. Both of those clocks I'm going to try to sell again for parts. This third clock is a Howard Miller. Howard Miller has distributed many different kinds of clocks, but they are still a brand that people look out for. This looks very TJ Maxx to me, and the buyer agreed. So it arrived at them. They said that it looked kind of dirty and grungy. I can see that. They just didn't like it, so they sent it back. That's very fair. I am not going to try to sell this again because I just don't think it's pretty enough to hold its value. I bought it for $4. I sold it for $25. All right, so those are 3 clocks and why they got returned. Now I'm going to talk about clocks that I've sold which have never gotten returned, and these are clocks that I sell for parts. So that's actually how I got started selling luxury clocks, was by selling tiny little pocket watches. So for example, this is a Lincoln pocket watch here. I started with Elgins and Walthams. I can't show you them because I have sold it out. I will buy them up to $12.50, and then I will flip them anywhere from $50 to $85. It's not as huge a profit margin as some of these wall clocks and mantle clocks, but it's still doubling, 3 times my money. It's fast, and they don't get returned. Are those below market value? Yes. It's because I do not test them. I often sell broken pocket watches, and I sell them to other resellers who have the skills and knowledge to fix them and then sell them for a couple hundred. So I'm happy, the other reseller is happy. Those don't get returned. Another category of clocks which don't get returned are larger mantle clocks, which I'm also selling for parts. I've had a huge success rate with Session, the brand Session specifically. Here's an example of one that I'm going to be working on this week. So as you can see, this is a mantle wall clock. It is completely dismembered. It's coming out with parts everywhere. It's got gears completely disconnected. I'm just going to lay this out on a table, take a photograph, list it. It will be bought again by another reseller who has the skills and knowledge to fix it. Based off of the success with broken clocks, that's how I started selling clocks which worked. And honestly, I did not expect to get this many returns. And what I'm learning is that moving into a different market demographic from other resellers to people buying luxury goods is you cross expectation lines. And so while other resellers are generally not looking for a perfect product, they're looking for a product that they can make something out of or move in some kind of creative way. Most people buying luxury brands for their own houses are looking for a finished end item that's exactly the way that they want it. They tend also to be less forgiving to mistakes. This is not a problem with the market. This is a problem for me and my business because I didn't set up my business to eat those extra costs. So for example, the 3 clocks that I showed you today represent $325 that I in fact did not make. My cost of goods is pretty low. It's around, let's see, 7 plus 5 plus 5, 17. The return shipping labels were 20 plus 20 plus 10, so that's 50. So my total cost of goods for money that I did not make is currently $67. So I could either eat that cost and move on as a failed experiment, but I like selling clocks. I find it easy to pick them up. I want to continue working on this business model and find a way to make it work. So I am going to go back to the Syroco clock since that was the most expensive, originally priced at $200. I'm going to see if I can sell it for $100 for repair. Once again, I'm going to go back to the mantle clock and see if I can also sell that one for repair. Since I know that repairs don't generally get returned, that means that I know that I can still make a profit for my higher cost of goods on these particular items, and the next time I pick up clocks, I am either going to continue to look for broken ones that I can sell to other resellers, or I'm going to heavily test them and find the highest quality ones if I want to sell them to final end luxury houses. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put on my Taylor Swift. I'm gonna get to listing.